Mr Speaker.
I call Andrew Williams.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I take a call on behalf of New Zealand First for the Waitaki District Council Reserves and Other Land Empowering Bill brought to the House by the local member Jackie Dean. And also I would commend Jackie Dean for bringing this to the House in relation to this public land in the Waitaki District. New Zealand First also sent a representative down to Oamaru, our MP Dennis O'Rourke, Christchurch New Zealand First List MP, to look at it. Dennis, with a legal background and being a lawyer, was able to assess it and look at the various aspects of the properties in question and advise our caucus accordingly. We are in support of the land in terms of the Palmerston Showgrounds and also the northern piece of land in Oamaru, Lot 1 DP 345820, transferring across under this bill because both of those parcels of land have been proven to be in the hands of current lessees and are no longer deemed to be reserves by the Council and are appropriate to be passed by this bill. However, our investigations don't fully support the information that came to the Select Committee in relation to Forrester Heights, and New Zealand First still has grave concerns about that particular block of land. And we still believe that there is sufficient community concern from many people within the community that that land rightfully perhaps while it is in dispute, should continue to remain as a public reserve. There are questions over that endowment land status and questions over it having been transferred to reserve nearly 100 years ago, and how that paperwork was all transferred and signed off by the Governor-General. And in a sense, Mr Speaker, because that reserve, in a sense, has been a reserve for over 100 years, back into the 1800s, it is almost incumbent on this Parliament, in a sense, to ensure that the likes of that is preserved, because when a community has had land like that and has come to know land like that for such a long period of time, as the backdrop to the town of Oamaru, and where so many people still associate it with being part of that extended connection of Lookout Point, and where so many people in the community do cherish it as reserve land, it is in a sense a shame that other members of the community would wish to take that away for all time and subdivide it into 5.8 hectares of subdivision and put for sale signs up on sections for houses to overlook the Oamaru Harbour, and also create a housing backdrop of Oamaru itself, of the central Oamaru itself. And we have concerns because the likes of the Waitaki Ratepayers and Concerned Citizens Association and the Friendly Bay Society and many others in Oamaru say it should not happen, and therefore we're not convinced that it should either. Mr Speaker, I've been involved over a number of years of trying to acquire reserve land in many places, and going out on a huge limb to secure the likes of land at Long Bay on the North Shore, the likes of the Chelsea Sugar Refinery Park land, other land all around Auckland, and also helping the Auckland Regional Council formerly to secure, was it Rakiura Island out in the Hauraki Gulf, and trying to secure more land under the ARC around the Auckland region, and indeed supporting other councils around New Zealand, securing other reserves around New Zealand to have land in public reserve in perpetuity. And so, Mr Speaker, it also goes against the grain for me to see such a beautiful piece of reserve land as the backdrop to Oamaru being put up for commercial sale potentially by their council, when so many other councils around New Zealand are actually trying to increase public reserve land for the use of our growing population. And so it does concern me that perhaps the priorities of the council there, the Waitaki District Council, are perhaps not in accordance with a significant percentage of their population, and by going through with this particular bill, we could in fact be reversing the tide of what is happening so often throughout New Zealand, of us trying to acquire greater green spaces for our population. So New Zealand First will not be supporting this bill. We're sad that we're not able to support the member. We commend the member for bringing it to the House. But at the same time, when the information that did come to the Select Committee from the likes of Barry Monks and Alan Crawford and a number of others, and where there is still a certain level of doubt, even though the officials have said that they believe it is correct, there is still a level of doubt. I think in these instances we should still err on the side of caution, and we should always give land and reserves the benefit of the doubt. And the benefit of the doubt in this case will result in the council taking something like $3 million profit from this land to go towards a $10 million refurbishment of the Oamaru Opera House. But money is money, and once the money has gone, it's gone forever. If the land is retained and reserve land is retained and it is kept in that reserve status and situation, it will be there forever. And that's one of the things that the $3 million will quickly come and go, but that reserve, once it's gone, will be gone forever. And some concern was also expressed by the community that aspects of the going up to, and I haven't been up there myself, but it was mentioned to me, the views from up above and from driving up to a particular lookout and other things would be affected by these houses being put there. And again, the impact on the community of taking away what is traditionally and for more than a century, various aspects and various lookouts over Oamaru being affected, it would be a great shame that that's taken away. So, Mr. Speaker, just in closing, can I say that New Zealand First will not be supporting this, and we hope that the district of Waitaki down there and the people of Waitaki can have another look at this, because I think it was a great shame that for sale signs were put up a year or two ago for the land before this was all determined, which caused huge consternation amongst many people in the community. That's not how it should have been. There was inadequate consultation. It did not go through a full, robust, transparent process, and really I think they should go back to the people of Oamaru and of the Waitaki district, and they should really say to the people of Oamaru and Waitaki district, do you want us to go ahead with this, or do the people want us to keep this reserve land forever? Thank you.